Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Well, welcome to Stealwing 33 Plays Darkest Dungeon, the Pitch Black Dungeon mod. I'm Stealwing 33, and we're gonna start Darkest Dungeon. So, if you've been around on the channel long enough, or if you've poked around a little bit, you know that long ago I played Darkest Dungeon for the channel, and we didn't get very far. The game's really hard, brutally hard, and it got the better of me when we first started playing through it. We really had a trouble with it when we were playing through it originally, but now I'm a lot better at strategy games than I was when I first started the channel, because I played this game like 3 or 4 years ago now. I'm a little bit more aligned with myself. I know a lot more about the game as well, because I watched a big long ass playthrough of New Game Plus on it, so I'm a little bit more confident in myself. I have a practice one, which is also on Pitch Black Dungeon. It's literally there so that way I can practice. That's my personal one that I'm just gonna play whenever I have free moments or when I'm not recording. But without further ado, let's get started. I already tried to record this opening once, and we lost both Dismas and our Crusader right off the bat. And I wasn't willing to sit with that because it was a bad roll of the dice on the first fight we had. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Alright. So this is the Pitch Black Dungeon mod. So the Pitch Black Dungeon mod is an overhaul mod for Darkest Dungeon that makes the game... It retools the game to be both slightly harder and more intricate. I prefer it to actually the base game. A lot like playing Long War for XCOM, right? So the game is harder, right? I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. The Pitch Black Dungeon is actually more difficult than regular Darkest Dungeon, but the retooling, it gives me more options for what to do. I've had a couple games run to ground on finance problems, and so I've learned how to correct those, which is nice. But hopefully we'll have an easier opening, which it looks like we already are. So let's go to open that guy's veins. We missed. This guy's not a good example, but there are other good changes that have happened in Darkest Dungeon with the Pitch Black Dungeon mod. Stuff like enemies can now have keywords attached to them, where they can do stuff like transform, or they can do special attacks, or buff their allies, or things like that. And it makes the game more interesting. It makes it more intricate and more interesting to play for myself, at least. You know, then again, it is harder, right? So it does have a little bit more. It does have a little bit more going through it. Let's go ahead and stick this on. Actually, let's stick it on. No, let's stick it on Dismas, so that way I can use Deceitful Shot on the next fight, and we should be fine. That hat gives us extra stress reduction, and take a look at it. It reduces our stress damage we receive, gives us 5 dodge, and makes it harder for us to be surprised. That's good, because, well, all of that's good because it makes it so that Dismas has a less of a chance of getting hit, which is good. I like that. But hopefully we'll be alright. The ability I'm using on Reynald, by the way, is it gives him extra defenses, but then it also marks him, so it taunts the enemies to attack him. That's what I want. Reynald's got way more HP than Dismas. He's got 10 more HP. Tony wants to play League. I will message him in a minute. Yeah, Reynald's got way more HP than Dismas, and I don't want Dismas to be getting hit if I can avoid it. Just because he'll die, and that's not great. The pissed off the stun didn't work, but the bleed stacking is working out pretty good, so I'm feeling okay. The protection helps a lot. Plus 20% defense essentially is very useful. Come on, get the bleed. There you go. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Let's have Reynault smite this or stun this guy again. Hopefully it'll work. This guy's got pretty good stun resistance. He's got, what is it, 50% stun resistance. It's enough where I feel okay. I felt okay doing it, but very clearly it's not working very well. The damage gets healed off every time we leave the area, so that's why I'm not super worried about it. I probably didn't need to hit that guy, actually. I'm probably sure the bleed would have killed him, but oh well. This guy's taking 9 points of bleed damage per turn. Let's speed that up by hitting him a little bit as well. There we go. Now this guy should basically be out of abilities that he can use, because I'm pretty sure he can't use blanket fire from where he's standing. So he should just like rushed overload. There you go. Yeah. So this game's very good. It's very good. It's a very, very good game. It's just hard. It requires a lot of knowledge and a lot of information in order to be really good at it. We got a potion. This one is like an enraging potion. Let's continue adventuring so I can open this up. It's trapped. I've been blinded. All right, let's get the hell out of here. But you know, it's good stuff. I enjoy this game tremendously. We got actually a pretty decent chunk of money out of that, which is good. Both of our guys should level up from that, and then you got Calm, minus 15 damage on the first round. I don't feel like that makes sense. I feel like Calm should have like a positive effect and a negative effect. Because it should keep you from like, it should like be stress reduced or like stress resistance.
Hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
All right, cool. So this is the Hamlet. This is YouTube Estate Estate. We get access to a lot more stuff at the beginning of the game. We get access to the Survivalist, which will let us change our camping skills, which are these skills down here. They let us do stuff during periods of time where we camp out during the game. There's that kind of stuff. We have our abilities, which are changed at the guild, if I'm not mistaken. We have our cart, which we're going to grab both these people, the Vestal and the Plague Doctor there. We have the Tavern. Tavern relieves stress. It allows us to do things like drink, gamble, and go to the brothel.
Cards and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
We have our blacksmith, of course, and the first thing I want to do is... No, not the guild.
Ever greater threats.
We'll get to that in a minute. Hold on a minute. We have our graveyard, obviously. The graveyard is where all of our dead people go.
Up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
God, the guy fucking talks so much. The guild is good. So the guild, what we can do here is, so like, we're probably gonna leave Dismas as he is because it's not worth changing over. But we're probably gonna get Divine Comfort. This is a really good Vestal actually because we only need to buy Divine Comfort. Divine Comfort's a party heal. It lets us change out, like, heal everybody at once. We do not need Illumination, and I'm gonna keep Divine Comfort. Divine Grace is a targeted heal, heals for more, but it only hits one person. Dazzling Light stuns people and gives us Torch. This thing, you hit the person with it, it does damage. Then it causes them to do less damage, have less accuracy, and it gets rid of all of the corpses and buffs the Vestal, so that way she can do stuff, which is good. Incision's not great, but I think we're going to stick with it for right now. We got to be careful how much we change around our abilities, because buying them is expensive, and that's how I got into trouble the first time I played through Pitch Black Dungeon, like, by myself. I've never beaten this game. I've never even beaten any of the bosses of this game. I always fail at like week 12 when I run out of money and I can't afford to buy food or torches to go on an adventure. So hopefully we'll do better than that. And where better to start than on our first mission in the ruins.
Of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
All right, cool. So our Plague Doctor prefers to be in a third position. You can see where they want to go and where they want to hit. Our Vestal prefers to be in either the back two positions, so we'll put her in the far back. Dismas prefers either the middle two positions, so we'll put him in the second position. And Reynault must be in the first or second position to do anything. So that's where we're going to stay. I'm considering going for Battle Heal at some point, because the healing received is really good. Holy Lance is also really good, because it lets you jump back forward at somebody. and I might take Holy Lance over Zealous Accusation, but I'd like to have AoE when I play. Killing people is the best way to avoid getting hurt, and that's sort of what I want. Food now stacks up to 16 in Pitch Black Dungeon, and that's good. Torches stack up to 8, or they stack up to 10 now. Ooh, that's even better. And we'll buy a key and one of these things. So this thing is, it's essentially refills your entire torch meter. It's really good, actually. Let's go down to like, let's do 8 torches. 8 torches should be fine. Let's do 7. 8 torches is fine. This thing refills your entire torch meter, and if you drop it, like, it also does other stuff, but I don't know too much about a lot of the new curio stuff. I know that this can be used as a like to cut through stuff or to cut away like vines, and then this is something that like lets you burn stuff, but I don't know. These are healing potions. You can buy them and you just pop them and you get healed for drinking it, which is good, but they're a little bit too expensive to be practical. I would bring them on harder missions or on missions where I know I'm not going to bring a healer, and I would buy like one of each of them basically, and then have that be my healer for the mission. Terrible plan, I know, but there are times where it feels like a good idea. Alright, let's get going. Hopefully, yeah, that's already a spot of good luck. We got a torch. Salvage the unburned torch. Take that. Torches let us, so in the dungeons we have a torch meter, and essentially what happens is that when your torch goes down, your stress increases and it makes it harder for you to see. The higher your torch, the more likely it is that you will end up being able to get scouting or be able to surprise the enemy, which is great. It's really, really good.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy
them all. The guy who's talking, I know he has a name, I just don't know his name off the top of my head. Hand of Light's only the first 2 positions. Oh, fuck me. That's really bad. It's bad because, like, we won't be able to use it. Like, it's no good. We might actually, let's go to you. Can this be used from any... No. I guess we'll swap out Hand of Light for Judgment at some point, but you know what? We'll leave it there so that way in the first 2 positions she has something that she can do. That'll be better, I think. Let's open that up. See what's inside. A shovel, whatever the fuck this is. A questionable healing potion. Alright. The extra shovel is nice. So, shovels are for when there are blockages in the dungeons, like this. You need to use a shovel. If you don't use a shovel, your characters all take a bunch of damage, and they get kind of pissed off about it. They get stressed. You want to keep some shovels on you. That's why I came in with 2. It's just a good idea. We got a quick bone rabble. He's got 2 actions. Regular bone soldier and a bone acolyte. None too shabby. Let's do emboldening vapors on Dismas, and then have him do blanket fire. Let's see if that works. Nope, missed like terrible. Let's have you stun that lady. Hopefully, she's stunned. Good. That means next round she won't be able to do stressful incantation on us, which increases our stress by a lot. There are a lot of enemies in this game that just do stress damage. Stress damage is the hardest kind of damage to make it go away. Largely due to the fact that when your character is stressed, the only way to make it go away is to either do something to them in a dungeon, or make them go and hang out somewhere in the hamlet, which isn't great. You really don't wanna bank on them having to do stuff in the hamlet if you can avoid it. A, it's expensive, but B, it removes them from the roster temporarily, which isn't great. Do Divine Comfort. Everybody should get a little heal. Good. Everybody's feeling pretty good right now. Do this. Wiped out one of the rabble, both the rabbles. They both and the skeletons get up now, but they come back as reanimated characters, reanimated soldier, reanimated rabble. We only have to kill them again, and they're a lot weaker when they come back reanimated, which is nice. And there's more to manage in this version of the game than there is in the other versions of the game. Oh, in the base game rather. So it's more interesting to me, right? Like it feels good that the skeletons get back up. It feels like the right thing that should be happening rather than sort of like something extra, right? Because they're skeletons, they're evil. Of course they get back up. They're fucking undead. Oh, that's terrible. This is a part where Holy Lance would be super good if we could make it happen, but that's right. We're doing fine. I mean, we're going to do fine regardless. Yes, please, hit Reynold. Yep, son of a bitch. Go ahead and disorienting blast there. Get rid of the corpse. I'm cheesing it out a little bit because this guy doesn't do very much damage, and I feel like it's in our interest to sort of do that. To heal up, try to maybe deal with a little bit of this, and then we'll kill it. It'll be fine. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and redefault ourselves.
Push on
Good.
to the task's end.
I'm feeling alright right now. We got a journal page. The undead are a common theme from children's stories, but those stories are supposed to be false. I'll tell you honestly, it gets easier after the first. You don't think too deeply about the owner of those bones. Just strike them down as quickly as you can, the Maester. So we get one of these things every now and then. They're worthless. They're just like little crunchy tutorial bits, which is fine. But, you know, it's not super useful. The stress is really bad. So we start getting stress as our torchlight goes down. High chance that we'll be doing that. But just walking around in the dungeon is stressful. So the game is about managing your characters, right? So there's a lot of stuff that happens to them, and it's very important that they don't get too messed up by what's happening in the dungeons, right? It's why having characters that have, like, stress relief and things of that nature on them is important. It's what makes the Jester a good character. It's what makes, you know, a couple of things better than not having them, things like that nature. So, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Hopefully Reynold can get a good hit here. Yep, that's good. And hopefully the boost in speed on Reynold will let him get in here a little bit and mix it up. Go, yes, and then we'll be able to disorienting blast and get rid of those corpses. Boom. That should get rid of those corpses. Fantastic. And he's stunned. Booyah. That's good. That's good. That's the plan working, right? That's how that feels right now. Feeling pretty good. Bayonet jab's bad, but it's also really inaccurate, so it's whatever. Open vein. Let's cut this guy down. Let's get this over with. Oh, good. We can get another Divine Comfort off. Yes, the heals are so good today. We're rolling well. We're rolling well right now, which is nice. It's good. That crit's good, too. Fantastic. Like excising a tumor. If it bleeds, it can never stop. What is that? Anticoagulant aromatic? Interesting. Alright, let's touch this with Reynold. Can we put holy water in it? Does that do anything? Divine benefit! Ah, he got healed, and he got stress relief. Fantastic. So that's a curio. That's an example of a curio, and there's a lot more of them in Pitch Black Dungeon than there is in, like, regular Darkest Dungeon. I'm glad that missed. And that's good, because the curios are my favorite part of the game. There are interesting interactions that, like, you have to be smart and think about what it is you're going to do before you do it. Like, that's a curio, right? This one just had loot in it. What is it? Provoke protection. You'll get a bit edgy, but you'll know how to handle yourself. Interesting. We also came out of this with a lot more food. A lot of money, too. Plus, we'll get the reward from, like, just beating the dungeon, which is, like, a fair bit of money and an item normally.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
What do we got? This last room's gonna be a room battle, right? Nope, just treasure, apparently. Looks like we brought the exact right number of torches for this whole thing here. And the exact right number of shovels. Because we got one extra one. We have an extra one now, so I'm feeling good. Hello! Alright, that's bad. So, this guy right here, the Inspirational Bone Collector, or Born Courtier, that guy's annoying because he buffs all of the other Skelemans. Well, he buffs everybody, but right now it's only Skelemans. So we need to get rid of him immediately. So that's our job right now, right? So this guy cannot be bled. So let's throw the gas grenade back here. Blight these two guys, hopefully. Yep, that's good. That's a lot of blight, too, so I'm feeling pretty good. Stun this bone rabble. Smack. Oh, he resisted. It's only 25% resistance on stun. Bullshit. Oh, David Blaine, that's bullshit. That guy got toxicked. Tempting Goblet. Looks like he's not going to bother to do any of his buffing stuff, which means we'll be able to get rid of him before he does, which is nice. And then we'll probably disorienting blast that guy, so that way he gets stunned, and then it'll get rid of the dude's corpse so he doesn't come back to life. I would really rather that rain alt went next, to be honest, but it's not going to be the case. So I'm not going to worry about it. Let's get rid of the corpse. I got to move forward slightly. And we'll do this. There we go. Suck holy writ, motherfucker. And then we'll heal up. There you go. Alright, not bad so far. Not bad so far. We're doing real good. I'm pretty pleased with what's going on here. God, I'm getting real tongue-tied today. Ah. Cannot speak. I have no mouth, but I must scream. Which is a very, very scary point-and-click adventure game and a really good book. If you're looking for something to read this holiday season, I Have No Mouth, But I Must Scream is a very, very good book. Very pessimistic view of artificial intelligence. If you are into that sort of thing, highly recommend. All right, that bone rabble got back up, which is not that big of a deal, to be honest. Let's do incision on that guy. Good. This bad. I mean, we shot the corpse, but I need to get rid of it. Enemies don't leave corpses if you kill them with a crit or if they died at damage over time. So really the best way to do it is to bleed them or blight them and then kill them. So that way you don't end up in a situation where you have a corpse and it stops you from doing the thing that you want to do, etc. But that's why AoE is really good, is because when you AoE down tons of people, like, it works out pretty well, which is nice. That's that. Oh, I missed. That sucks. Let's do that. Good, he's stunned.
The path is clear.
Open vein, fantastic, we did it. Alright. Not bad. Not bad. Everybody's got pretty low stress. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Let's continue adventuring real quick. Let's open this up, and we'll use the key, so that way it doesn't shoot anything any goo at us, and we got a couple heirlooms out of it. Do I want to go back for that other room over there? Nah, let's just use the campfire real quick to get rid of all of our stress. Which is nice. Alright, so then we'll do Zealous Speech. Everybody should get reduced stress, which is good. Let's do this one to make sure we don't get ambushed and end up in extra combat that I don't feel like being in. Let's do chant. Can you do chant on yourself? No? Okay, so then... what if I want to do... What do you got? Reduce the stress by 10? Oh, well, there you go. Alright, we're done. The vessel's got 12 stress. 12 stress is not that bad. And we're good to go. There you go. We did it. Awesome. Alright, got a lot of money out of that. Plus we got our base reward of 5k. We're sitting pretty. We're making sure that we're not accidentally running out of fucking money at any point. Nobody really got beat up too bad during any of that. Dacomania, obsessed with killing. Nervous, plus 10% stress damage. Plus 1 spun speed if below 50%. It's pretty good. Hard skin, plus 10% protection. That makes her very strong. That's really good, actually. So I'm feeling pretty good. Awesome. It looks like the beginning of the game is a little bit scripted, because we should have... It's going to be a Hellion and a Jester, right? Oh, it's a Grave Robber this time. There you go.
Gold gleams like a dagger's point.
Alright, and our first goal is going to be, I want to get the Armor Smith up and running.
The forge stands ready to make weapons of war.
My reasoning here is that armor is really the most important thing you can get your characters. Because it's the thing that keeps them alive, and being alive means that they have less of a chance of dying. And so armor's the most important thing in the game. It's sort of like XCOM, right? Where you really want, like, what you want out of the game is to 100% just keep your dudes alive. Everything else is secondary. We got the memoirs.
You will know the tragic extent of my failings.
So, we have goals, right? So our goals are defeat the brigade 8-pounder, 12-pounder, 16-pounder. These are all the bosses, right? Our goal is to kill all the bosses, then destroy the darkest dungeon up here. And then the rest of this stuff, it like shows up after a while, right? And then this is the ending part, right? Once we do all that, we'll unlock New Game Plus, and hopefully by that point we'll be better at the game enough where we can actually do good New Game Plus. But I'm already feeling pretty good. I managed to get through that without too much pain. We have very little stress, and I'm feeling kind of confident. On the next episode, we're going to take the Grave Robber and the Jester with us. We'll probably take them in with Reynault and Dismas because they prefer to be in the last two positions, although you have some interesting abilities. Yeah, I don't know. We might have to adjust the Jester, but we'll probably wait on that. I definitely want to get... Oh no, Inspiring Tomb's the one that I want. This is the best one for the Jester to have, because it heals stress, which is nice. And we can have the Jester be in the last two positions. The reason the game's, like, tentatively telling us to be in the second position is because of Harvest, but Dirk Stab works fine. We could put him in the back. Our Grave Robber prefers to be, like, definitely prefers to be in the second position, just because, like, all of her abilities can be used from there. But we'll see. We'll see about this. Flashing Daggers is good. Lunge is meh. I mean, Lunge is really good if you have Shadow Fade, because then you can dive forward and then dive backward with it. Just kind of like, it's like Dismas's. Dismas has Duelist Advance followed by Point Blank Shot. Same deal. You move forward, and then you move backward, and then you basically make them switch places with Reynault all the time, and that's how they operate. It's a good combo, but we'll have to worry about that on the next episodes. Because for now, thank you all so much for watching. If you guys like what you saw, let me know. If you guys have any tips or tricks or things that I should know, leave them in the comments down below. You know, I know kind of what I'm doing, but it never hurts to hear from you guys, to hear what it is that I actually need to do. So with that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!